Hey guys, good morning. This is Brantley with 30 Minute Fisherman. Guys, I just wanted to give another little quick tip today. This is again going to be about fall fishing, and one of the lures that I use personally for fall fishing that I don't really hear a lot about, but I think it's a great fall lure. And sometimes there's reasons why we don't hear a lot about these baits. Maybe guys are trying to keep them secret or not let the cat out of the bag, so on and so forth. The lure that I want to talk about this morning is a wake bait. Now, if you guys are not familiar with a wake bait, it's basically it can be a crankbait. It can also be a minnow bait with a downturned lip, similar to this. Now, this has basically like a big square bill lip that's been bent down. And what this causes is this lure will run about 3, maybe 6 inches under the water, under the surface of the water. But what it's going to cause is going to cause the top of the water to bulge. Kind of like if you've been out fishing, you've seen like a bluegill run off a bed, or a brim. We call them here in the South, everywhere else bluegill, but or red breast, whatever. Or a lot of times you scare a fish up in the shallows. You're walking down the bank, or you moving your boat into an area, and you spook a fish, and you'll see it run off, and it's in shallow water, and you'll see that water kind of humped up, bulged up, however you want to say it. Well, that's the same effect you get with this wake bait. Now, this one I have in my hand here, this is a Livingston Lures wake bait right here. I don't even remember what they call it, but I just know this one's made by Livingston. And this is one I fish with. And then also, I like, Academy Sports sells a wake bait. It's a little bit smaller than this one, a little bit smaller profile. But anyway, it works real good. And like I said, Rapala makes one, Arashi makes one, several companies make one. I think Sixth Sense Lures makes one. I think that's a fairly new one, but I know they make one. And then, of course, also, you can also get the really, really huge wake baits, like they fish out in California and places. Like I think it's MC Slammer and this kind of stuff. I don't typically fish with those really, really large wake baits like that. But anyway, the point is, these wake baits, again, they run real shallow underneath the water. Like I said, at best 6 inches deep. They bulge the top of that water, and they just sit there and lazily, rock back and forth, wobble, big wide wobble on them. And, the thing is, you can make really long casts with this bait. This bait is, I'm not sure exactly what the weight is on this thing, but it's at least half an ounce, possibly as much as 3/4, or 5/8, something like that. But again, I can take this bait, really throw it out there a long ways. So if there's schooling fish come up near me, I can pick this thing up, boom, fire it out there, and it's something different. Something different. Instead of it coming right across top of the water, this is coming right underneath the water, and it's sitting there, it's shaking, it's doing its thing, it's wobbling, and they'll eat it, guys. And another thing is, this time of year, a lot of times you have to, like any other time of year, you have to find the fish, So this is another bait you can find fish with. You may not always necessarily catch them on this bait, but you'll have one come up and hit it, or maybe you'll catch them following it, something like that, and you can turn around and throw something else in there to catch them with. Maybe throw back in on them with a swim bait or something is probably a good follow-up bait for this, I would say, like a Kitech, or so many things, Bass Tricks, lots of different lures you could turn right back around and throw up in as a follow-up if you have one blow up on this or following it. So Anyway, like I said, these weight baits too, the other good thing about them is, like I said, you make a long cast, cover a lot of water, and it's basically a chunk and wind bait. You just cast it out there, it hits the water, and you just start reeling it. And depending on the different name brand too, some of them you can fish a little bit faster than others, but for the most part, it's kind of a moderate to slow retrieve, I would say, on these baits. You don't really wind them that fast. You just keep them coming. Just keep them coming at a good pace, But again, guys, real simple bait. I mean, what I kind of like to call lazy man's bait, because you don't have to do a whole lot to it. You don't have to pop the rod. You don't have to work it. You just make a long cast and start reeling. Chunk and wind. Just chunking and winding, baby. So, that's all you got to do. And like I said, they definitely work. So, guys, give it a try. Get out here and fish these weight baits. If you don't have some, get you some. Because the other thing, too, is right now I'm talking about the fall of the year. But also these weight baits, they'll work in the spring. They will work in the summer, So fish them. Get out here and try them. A lot of times it's something different. Maybe the fish hadn't seen, or let's say everybody else is throwing those big top waters, those big walking baits to, spooks and sammies and, everything else that's getting thrown at these fish that they're seeing. And then you throw this out there. Or a lot of times, let's say you're fishing a traditional, walking type baits you'd fish this time of year, and a lot of people fish poppers and everything else, and you're not getting bit on that. Switch up and throw this guy. So I'm just saying, guys, it's definitely worth a shot. This is a bait you definitely want to try for this time of year, and like I said, in general. So anyway, guys, remember, this is the day the Lord has made, so make the best of it. Get out here and enjoy the great outdoors that the Lord has given us. And remember to keep the people in your prayers down there in Texas, dealing with Hurricane Harvey, and now we got this Hurricane Irma heading somewhere. I don't think we quite know exactly where it's going yet. So, like I said, guys, lift all these people up in your prayers. And tight lines. God bless, and I'm out.